What's up, guys? Mickle here, and I may have just made my most important discovery yet in this Ripple SEC case. Guys, this is absolutely insane and could show that this entire Ripple SEC case means absolutely nothing. Ripple is going to be fine no matter what. XRP is going to be fine no matter what. And the true purpose of this case was to shake out retail holders. Now, guys, before you think this is just some massive conspiracy theory, I highly suggest you watch this whole thing because what I'm going to show you here is absolutely fascinating. And guys, I am not a lawyer, but I have talked to a lot of people about this. I think there is some level of truth to what I'm showing you, and if not, it's completely true. So guys, I would love to hear your feedback in the comments, but this is pretty crazy and you are definitely going to want to see this. Guys, like always, your support means so much to this channel. If you want to see more videos just like this, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below and turn on bell notifications. These three simple things go such a long way in helping this channel grow, and it really does mean so much to me. If you guys ever need a good place to buy XRP, make sure to check out my link for Uphold down in the description below. Uphold is by far my favorite place to buy and sell XRP. With that said though, guys, let's jump right into the video, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So guys, let's jump right into it and buckle up because this is going to take some serious explaining to understand. But guys, if you can understand what I'm saying here, it is absolutely game-changing for this entire case. It really does show that this case had absolutely nothing to do with stopping Ripple, shutting down XRP in the US. Guys, that was not the intended purpose at all. When I break down for you guys what the intended purpose of this case was, you are going to be mind blown, and there is no doubt in my mind that the SEC knows all about this. So guys, to start off, we need to go over some assumptions. What are some things people are saying about the worst case scenario for this case right now? Well, we know a lot of people are saying if Ripple loses, they're going to have to leave the US. If Ripple loses, XRP won't be able to be sold in the United States. If Ripple loses, XRP is going to be an illegal security, and countries all around the world might make it an illegal security as well. So guys, let's break down some of that stuff and talk about what's really going to happen. Guys, it's important to start off by saying XRP right now is not an illegal security. It's an asset with no status right now. No one knows if it's a commodity. No one knows if it's a security, but that's going to be decided by the court. So guys, what happens if the court deems it's a security? Well guys, it's still not an illegal security. It's an unregistered security. So what does that mean? That means that Ripple has not registered XRP with the SEC. But guys, they don't have to. There are plenty of securities trading in the United States that are not registered with the SEC. So what does that mean? Now we have XRP in our worst case scenario designated as a security. It's not illegal, but it's not registered with the SEC. Well guys, if you go on to the SEC website, they'll directly tell you who's allowed to trade in unregistered securities. And this is where things get really interesting. I'm going to start reading my tweet right here just to kind of funnel this conversation back to the main purpose, but I tweeted out, even if the SEC wins this case and XRP itself is a security, and it would have to be an unregistered security because obviously it's not possible to register a cryptocurrency right now with the SEC. So the SEC wins this case, XRP is an unregistered security. That's where we are right now. Well guys, if that's the case, only US retail investors are going to be impacted. So why only US? Well, all countries all over the world have their own laws, so we're only talking about the United States here. That means retail all over the world is still going to be able to use XRP. Right now, if XRP was deemed an unregistered security, only retail investors are going to be impacted. So why only retail investors and not institutions and accredited investors? Well guys, the fact of the matter is, institutional investors, accredited investors, and institutions are allowed to deal in unregistered securities. Take a look at this. This is directly from the SEC's website. A bank, an SEC-registered broker-dealer, a plan established and maintained by a state, an employee benefit program, a tax-exempt charitable organization, a director, an enterprise, a individual with a net worth or joint net worth above $1 million, an individual with an income exceeding more than $200,000, a trust with an asset exceeding $5 million, an entity with a type not otherwise qualifying as accredited that owns investments that exceed $5 million, and guys, so on and so on. It keeps on going. But what's the point? All of these people can deal in unregistered securities, which would be what XRP is if the SEC loses this case. So what does that mean? Guys, that means this death scenario for Ripple in the United States, this death scenario for XRP in the United States is completely untrue. Even if XRP was an unregistered security in the United States, banks would still be able to use it. Broker-dealers could still use it. Individuals with net worths over a certain amount could still use it. Governments could still use it. States could still use it. All these different organizations could still use it. The only people getting screwed here are retail holders that are not accredited. They are the only people who need the SEC's protection to be able to deal in securities. And that would make XRP a registered security, but it's never going to be that. Ripple would have no incentive to register XRP, and I'll talk about why that is the case in a minute, but I want to point out, because I did say in the beginning, only retail investors are going to be impacted. Ripple's going to be impacted a little bit too. They're going to lose the retail liquidity trading in the United States, and they're likely going to have to take a fine because they let XRP get into the secondary market, which apparently in this worst case scenario wouldn't be legal. But that doesn't make XRP an illegal security. It's just unregistered. And as we talked about, there are a lot of different people who can use an unregistered security, and they could use that unregistered security for its fully intended use case. So guys, the real question that needs to be answered right now, is this case much less far-reaching than many people think? Does it only impact non-accredited US investors? And guys, if that is the case, then this entire Ripple SEC case is a massive nothing burger. Yes, it would suck if technically me and you, retail investors, were not supposed to be using XRP. But guys, ever heard of a VPN? There's no way they could actually enforce this. It would be a massive shakeout. They would try to scare retail out of the asset before the big boys could use it. And guys, I just want to show you an excellent example brought up by JV right here, because this is critical and really shows that this could be exactly what's happening. He tweeted out in response to me trying to gather information about what's going on here, because when I first kind of figured this out, it's kind of warping my brain, but he said, I believe he was asking whether or not they could still use it, meaning XRP, and trade it amongst themselves. He means between the accredited institutions and those investors, and would this just kick retail out of the equation? And then goes on to say that also the JPM coin is only used amongst institutions, kind of like we're alluding to what could happen with XRP. Not allowed for retail, and seems to be accomplishing the needs of JP Morgan. Don't see why Ripple wouldn't be able to do the same thing, since their main target is banks anyway. And guys, this is spot on. JP Morgan is doing the same thing. They are using their token to transact between institutions, kind of like what would happen if XRP was deemed to be an unregistered security. Now guys, I am still fully convinced Ripple's going to win this case. That does not change anything, and I don't think XRP is an unregistered security. But what I want to show you is that the worst case scenario here isn't that bad. It only affects retail investors. Ripple would be fine, XRP would be fine, and retail investors in the US could get a VPN. So what would be so bad about this case? And that's why I tweeted out that this case might be a massive nothing burger. Nothing would really even happen. You would just get some weak hands who are now scared to hold XRP, who dump it, and then that would get eaten up by the institutions that could now transact in it. And guys, I wanted to show you something because this goes to the whole thing, and you're going to see this a lot in response to what I'm talking about here. This guy, Furburger, tweeted out, the problem is the reporting section. Ripple would then have to report future sales weeks in advance. ODL's not going to work if they have to report sales weeks in advance. And guys, this is the massive understanding. That wouldn't be the case because XRP wouldn't be registered with the SEC. There would be no reporting. The institutions, the accredited investors could just use it. Retail investors would just be kicked out because XRP wouldn't get registered. Ripple would never register it. It would make no sense because it would break the ODL product. It would break XRP's ability to do instant transactions. Ripple's not going to register XRP before every transaction, and neither are the institutions using it. But they don't have to because they can still use XRP as an unregistered security and transact in it however they want. So guys, I hope that made sense, and I hope there wasn't too much going on there. But the main point I'm trying to make here is even if the SEC's case is successful, is it really going to be that bad for XRP? It seems like to me institutions would still be able to use it, banks would still be able to use it, retail would still be able to use it as long as they had a VPN. But guys, before I end this video, I think it's only fair that I point out one contradicting take to this because like I said, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know if I made some wrong assumptions here, and I think it's really important to show you guys this so you just don't take this and assume everything I said here was facts because, guys, I'm not a lawyer. It might not be. I could have messed up something big. Jesse Hymes said in response to this that it would have to be determined that XRP was not illegally sold as a security. He says if it's determined that XRP was illegally sold as a security, then it doesn't matter if it was unregistered. Ripple wouldn't be able to touch it, institutions wouldn't be able to touch it, and essentially it would be an untouchable security. Guys, I hope this gives some context to what I said. A lot of what I said was under the assumption that it wasn't deemed an illegal security. It was an unregistered security. Obviously, securities laws are very complex. I just wanted to point this out. But I think the rest of what I said, if it is not illegal, makes sense. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.